And I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 5 English lesson on prefixes and suffixes. And we have been doing prefixes and suffixes, but that is only because we have been, remember we said that there was a lot of lessons that we had to cover. So this is now going to be the last of our lessons on prefixes and suffixes. And before we start, we're going to log in to aplusstudents.ca. We're going to log in with our username as well as our password. And once we've logged in with our username as well as our password, then we're going to select the subject of language arts, grade 5. All right, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of prefixes and suffixes. So prefixes and suffixes. And the lessons that we are doing the chapter of prefixes and suffixes. Our subject is English, which is language arts. Grade 5. And the lessons that we are focusing on is going to be words with full, words with less or less, and words with able or able. And that is going to be our lessons for today, and how we're also going to end off prefixes and suffixes, right? All right, so let's start with suffix. What is a suffix? So suffixes can be added to the end of a base word to create a new word, right? So suffixes are words that we add, let's say at the end of a root word, and a root word is a word that can stand on its own, right? In order to create a new word, right? So once you add the word, let's say full, less, able, or able, at the end of the root word, and then it creates a new word, right? So the word basically changes, or let's say the meaning of the word changes. And in order for it to be a bit easier, right? Especially when it comes to knowing the meaning of a specific word, um, knowing the meaning of, let's say, what the suffix is, not just the root word, what the suffix means. Like, for example, knowing the meaning of full, knowing the meaning of less, knowing the meaning of able or able, right, can help you to determine the meaning of a specific word. So if you have a word like joy, right, and you add the word full to the word joy, so now it becomes joyful, right? In order for you to know what the meaning of joyful is, right, it will be way better to also know what the suffix is, or the meaning of the word suffix, or the meaning of the the word full of the suffix is. The word full is the suffix. So the word full, right? We're going to start with the words full. So the word full, right? Or the suffix full, it means having, showing, or causing. It means having, showing, or causing. That is what the word full means, right? Which means that if we add the word full, sorry, to the root word, for example, joy or pain or play, it will either mean it is having, showing, or causing, right? It doesn't mean it is having, showing, and causing. It is one of those words, right? For example, now we get to the examples, right? So now we get to the examples. Here we have a few of our words that ends with the suffix full. So we have joyful, we have playful, it's painful, tearful, useful, cheerful, careful, peaceful, hopeful, dreadful, right? So which means that let's get to the word joyful, right? Joyful. So joyful is a word that means something positive, right? Joy, it's happy, exciteful, especially now that it's the Christmas season, we are joyful, right? So which means that this is either having lots of joy or showing lots of joy, right? Because you're joyful, right? And joyfulness usually you show on someone's face. Like if you get Christmas presents or you are getting new clothes or whatever for, let's say, maybe the Christmas season, just an example, then it means that on our face we will show our excitement, we will show our joy, which means that the suffix full means, in this case, showing joy or having lots of joy, right? Joyful. And that is why they say knowing the meaning of the suffix, in this case, knowing the meaning of the suffix full, it can help you to determine the meaning of a specific word. So in this case, like we said, joyful is either having joy, having lots of joy, or it can mean showing that you are being joyful, right? Showing the joy. But now let us go to the next word. Remember, we said full means either having or showing or causing. Now look at the word painful. Painful, right? So painful, I personally feel it is causing pain, right? So it's basically like causing pain. Because something painful, it's when you are hurting, right? Whether it is emotionally or you're hurting physically, right? So if you hurt yourself, then it means that you will cause pain, right? It's causing pain. If someone is beating you up, then it means that they are causing you pain. If somebody is constantly calling your names, they are cursing at you, they are causing you pain, right? And that is why we say knowing the meaning of the suffix, it can help you to determine the meaning of a word. All right. That is our words on full, right? Let us go to the next word. We are now about the next suffix, which is less or less. Like we'll say it less, but if the way it is written or spelled, it's less, right? So less or less. Here we have a few words, right? And here the words are beautifully put, right? Remember we said a suffix we add to the root word or the end of the root word. There we have a root word, like for example, sun or end or wrist or wit or gut. Those words are root words. It can stand on its own, right? But now we add the word less to that word, and then the word or the meaning changes. So now it becomes, let's say, maybe, now it maybe becomes sunless or endless or restless, right? So if we add those two words together, then it makes one word and it basically changes the meaning of the word. Like, for example, look at the word sun. The sun brings heat, it brings light, right? But sunless, they say the meaning of the word less. So the meaning of the word less means without, right? It means without, which means that sunless means without sun, means without sun or without heat or without light, right? Because remember we said sun, it causes heat or it brings heat or shows light or brings light, right? So if it is sunless, then it means it is without sun, it's without light, right? Endless, endless, right? If something is end, okay, let's say it's when something ends, let's start with that word. If something ends, then it means that it is done. We are stopping it now. It has completed. It has completed. Sorry. But now, if it is endless, meaning it is without end, right? And then it means it goes on and on and on because it has no end. It's like some people would say it is infinity. If that infinity sign is even correct, it's infinity, right? Because it goes on and on and on. It is without end. Then we have restless, right? If you are resting, it means that you get maybe your 8 hours of sleep. Your body feels good because you are resting. Your mind is resting. You are chilling, right? But if you are restless, then it means that it is without rest. You are irritated. You are up and down. You are agitated, right? You are not sleeping properly, right? That is without rest. Let's do the last one. Luckless. Luckless. So the word luck, right, means something good, right? It means that I am lucky, I am either winning or I am succeeding. But if you're luckless, then it means that it's like it's not happening for me, you know? I'm not lucky enough. I'm not winning. I'm not succeeding, you know? That is luckless. It's without luck. It's without, a positive thing. And that is the word less. Remember fool? If we use the word fool, just to go back to the suffix fool, then it means it's having, showing, or causing, right? That is the meaning of that word. And then we have less, and the meaning of less means without, right? And now we have the meaning of, we have the suffix able or able. So able or able. And that means it's able to be. And the meaning is able to be. And if we now look at, So able to be, right? So which means that if we look at the word visible, if we look at the word visible, right? Visible is when you are able to see in front of you, right? So visible, it's like when you are able to clearly see in front of you. It's visible. Maybe if you're driving in the, let's say it's foggy, but it's still visible, right? Whatever, the car in front of you or objects in front of you. If we look at another word, responsible. Responsible, right? And responsible is when you are able to be responsible, meaning that you're able to take care of your things, you're able to take care of yourself, you're able to, um, let's say, acknowledge your actions, right? Because that is all part of responsibility, right? If something is reversible, then you're able to reverse that thing, right? And if something is reducible, then you are able to, let's say, it's almost like a reduction, lessen it, right? And that is our three suffixes that we have just focused on now. And once again, the suffix full, remember we said knowing the meaning of the suffix will be able to help you to determine the meaning of your word. So the suffix, the word suffix, or the meaning of the word full, or the suffix full, it means having, showing, and causing, or causing, not and, or causing. The meaning of the word less, it means without. So less or less means without. And the suffix able or able, it means it's like you're able to, or the ability to, right? And we are doing our tutorial lesson on a plus students.ca. So let's go to our tutorial lesson on a plus students.ca, and we're going with words with full. And we said that a suffix can be added to the end of a base word to create a new word, right? And knowing the meaning of a suffix can help you to determine the meaning of a word. And once again, the suffix full, it means having, showing, or causing. Remember, it doesn't mean all of it at once. It is either having, it's either showing, or it's either causing. All right. So, why might a certain task be stressful? So, why might a certain task be stressful? So, stressful with the suffix full, right? So, stressful. So, why do you think a task might be stressful? If you were to get a task, right, that you had to hand in, why would that task be stressful on you specifically? Especially when there's a due date. So, why do you think it would be stressful? Why would you be stressing specifically about this specific task? And usually, when we stress or when a task is stressful, right? And we stress about a specific task, it means because it is urgent, right? It's urgent. So we need to urgently give it in. There's like a due date, and now it is like kind of stressing you, right? So that is why a certain task might be or can be, or why a certain task is stressful. Is the screen a bit blurry? I don't know how to change it. Honestly. All right. I really don't know how to change it. Let's see. Can't reduce it. Mm. I really don't know how to make it less blur. I'm gonna try and fix it. All right. So who is less skillful? So who is less skillful? So if somebody were to be less skillful, right? Or someone were to be skillful or less skillful. Remember, less means that you on okay, this is not less, not less. So somebody who can be less skillful is somebody who's maybe an amateur athlete or somebody who's not as good in something. So we usually call them an amateur, right? And which gymnast is more graceful? And it's the one who looks at ease while performing difficult moves. All right. So now let's go on to the test. How does a dutiful student do his homework? If you're a dutiful student, right, do you do your homework thoroughly or carelessly? Thoroughly meaning you're doing it all the time, or carelessly, it's like you don't care about your homework. So, a dutiful student, do they do it thoroughly or carelessly? Dutiful. All right, so a dutiful student, yes, can do their homework thoroughly, right? They are not careless. They're not doing it carelessly. They are constantly working. So well done. Well done, guys. Thoroughly is correct. If you had an eventful day, how might you describe it? Would you describe an eventful day as exciting, or would you describe an eventful day as boring? Eventful. If you were to describe your eventful day that you had, would you describe it as exciting, which is option one, or boring, which is option two? All right, so if we describe our eventful day that we had, then we would describe our eventful day as being exciting, because an eventful day meaning that I would want this day to happen again. So it must be, or it should be, or it is exciting. Sorry. Why might someone be boastful? Is it because he is upset or he is very proud? Boastful. It's like he likes to show off. Is it because he is upset or he is proud? So boastful. Why might someone be boastful? Is it because he is upset or he is proud? Because boastful, it means that you are, it's like you're showing pride. Remember, if somebody is boastful, are they upset or proud? Because boastful is like they're showing pride, right? Which means that they are proud, right? Because they are proud. It's like you're prideful. So well done. Two is correct. The second one is correct. Well done. And which is a more thoughtful way to make a decision? So if you have thoroughly thought about something and you're about to make a decision, all right? What is the most thoughtful way to make a decision? Is it to make a random choice or writing out the pros and the cons, the good things and the bad things about the specific thing before you make a choice? So, which is a more thoughtful way to make a decision? To make a random choice like any, meeny, miny, mo, or writing out the pros and the cons, the good things and the bad things about this thing before making a decision. Like you have thought about it. So, which is a more thoughtful way to make a decision? Is it number one, to make a random choice? It's like you're just choosing anything and going with that. Or you are first writing the pros and the cons. It's like you're first writing down the good things and the bad things about something before you make a decision. All right, so if we, which is a more thoughtful way to make a decision, we can say it is to write your pros and your cons, which is your second one. Because if we're just going to make a random choice, if we're just going to make a random choice, and then it means that we might just choose anything that might not be correct, or you might just regret it. So well done. Writing out pros and cons, great job, is the correct way. And whose performance is more likely to be described as artful? Is it a professional violinist or an amateur violinist? Someone that is more artful, someone whose performance is more likely to be described as artful, beautiful. Is it a professional violinist or an amateur violinist? So the first one, professional violinist, or the second one, an amateur violinist. All right, so if we choose the correct one, we will say a professional violinist, right? Because if you an amateur violinist, right, then sometimes the sound might not come out proper, but an artful violinist, right, will come up with skills that we would be in awe of, right? So, professional violinist. And yes, the first one is correct. All right, so now we're going on to words with lists, and we said that list means without, right? It means without. So if something is harmless, right, then we can say there's no harm. It's without harm. Like, for example, a beautiful butterfly, right? A beautiful butterfly is harmless. You don't even feel it when the butterflies maybe comes to sit on your hand or sit on your shoulder, right? So a butterfly is harmless. When would a group of people feel powerless? Is it when they are in the government or when they are ignored by the government? So if you're in the government, right, are you powerless or powerful? So people in the government are powerful, right? However, people who are constantly ignored by the government are powerless, right? And which is likely to be described as tasteless? Is juice tasteless or water tasteless? Juice or water, which one is tasteless? It has no taste in. We're just drinking it because we need to be healthy. So basically, water is tasteless. We're just drinking it because we want to be healthy, to stop the dehydration and be hydrated, right? All right. So now we're going on to our test. Because remember, we have already explained what is full, list, as well as able. When might you feel helpless? Remember, list means without. So when might you feel without help, which is like helpless? Is it when you have no power to change things or when you have the power to change things? So when might you feel helpless? Is it when you have no power to change things or when you have power to change things? All right, so the question is, right, when might you feel helpless? And remember, we said that the word less that we add to help, it means without. So basically, when might you feel without help, like you can't do anything, right? Is it option one, when you have no power to change things, or option two, when you have the power to change things? So when might you feel helpless? Is it when you do have the power to change things, or when you don't have the power to change things? So is it option one, you have no power to change things, or option two, you have the power to change things? And if we choose the correct word or the correct answer, right? Yes, and then it means that you have no power to change things. The first one is correct. So you feel helpless. It's like you feel like you can't do anything when you have no power to change things, right? So well done, guys. Option one is correct. Why might a basketball team feel hopeless? So, hopeless. Why might the basketball team feel hopeless? Is it because they are losing badly? Or the second option, because the game is tied? So, hopeless. Why might the basketball team feel hopeless? Is it because the first option, because they are losing badly? Or second option, because the game is tied? All right, so we can then basically say because they are losing badly, which is the first one, right? So remember, you start feeling hopeless because you're losing and you're just thinking to yourself, like, we about to lose this game, right? So yes, number one is correct. So well done, everybody. And which is less likely to be described as tasteless? Tasteless. There's no taste at all. Is it option one, which is orange juice, or option two, water? Which one of those two is tasteless? It's got no taste. Orange juice or water? It's got no taste. We're only drinking it because we want to be hydrated. We want to be healthy and keep and cleanse our bodies. What is tasteless? It has no taste. It has no taste. Is it orange juice has got no taste? And remember, I'm not talking about how bad maybe orange juice tastes. I'm talking about it not having a taste, right? If you drink it, you're just drinking it, but there's no taste in it. All right, so if we choose the correct one, we will say water has no taste, right? Because remember, water is tasteless. We are just drinking it because we want to be hydrated or stay hydrated. We just want to be healthy, cleanse our bodies, right? So water is tasteless. It's got no taste. Ah, it's orange juice. I'm actually surprised. So orange juice is actually tasteless, guys. So orange juice. Probably because of the bad, stingy taste that orange juice has. So I do apologize. I do want to commend what's his name? Is it Edenet? So well done. Well done to the one who chose number one. So orange juice is actually tasteless, guys, not water. So I do apologize there. I'm also as shocked because for me, water is tasteless. So I apologize, but orange juice is correct. So well done to the one who chose orange juice. All right. So, okay, let's go to the last one. Which would be worthless in a store? So, what will basically mean nothing when you go to a store? It's worth nothing. Is it play money, like monopoly money, or actual money? If you go to the store and you want to buy cool drink, you want to buy Coca-Cola, can you go with play money or actual money? So, which one is worthless? Play money means nothing, or actual money means nothing. Option one or option two. So basically, something that might be worthless is play money, right? play money, because monopoly money, play money is basically just money that we can copy ourselves. We're just playing with it, right? So play money is worthless. It means nothing. It's without worth, right? They're going to chase you away from the store if you go with play money to buy Coca-Cola and to buy an Xbox, right? So we need to go with actual money. So play money is worthless. It means nothing. There's no worth, right? All right, let's do the last one quick. So the ability, so able or able, right? And the meaning of able or able means able to be, right? So able to be is the meaning of the word able or able, right? So what is reducible? Reducible, right? So something can be reducible, right? When it can be broken down into smaller parts. Because reduce means either to lessen or to smaller, make something smaller, right? Or in this case, it is something that can be broken down into smaller parts. And that means it is reducible, right? It is able to, we are able to make it smaller. We are able to break it down, right? Why might you use erasable ink? Why might you use erasable ink? You use erasable ink, right? Then it means that you can make changes. It is erasable, right? So if it's erasable, then it means that you can make changes. And that is why we use erasable ink. All right, now we're going to our test. Which is sliceable? Is it a loaf of bread? We have the ability to slice it, or a salad we have the ability to slice. Which one is sliceable? A loaf of bread, and now I have a slice of bread, or a salad, and now I have a slice of salad. All right, and something that is sliceable, right, means that we can slice the loaf of bread, right? That is why we have slices. Which is more achievable, or a more achievable goal? Is it running a mile under 4 minutes or running a mile under 7 minutes? Unless you're a professional. So, which is more achievable goal? Is it running a mile under 4 miles or running a mile under 7 miles? Is it option one or option two? Which one do you think you can achieve? Maybe as in you're not that much of a professional. Under 7 minutes or under 4 minutes? All right, so everybody's saying option two. Let's go to option two, right? Running a mile in under 4 minutes or in under 7 minutes. Let's go to the second option, right? Because for me, it is under 4 minutes. Under 7 minutes. So well done. That is achievable. And why might you use erasable ink? Is it so that you can make changes or so that your words can't be altered? So why might you use erasable ink? Is it so that you can make changes or so that your words can't be altered? You cannot alter it. You cannot change it. erasable ink? Is it so that we can make changes or so that our words cannot be altered? All right, so if we choose the correct one, then we can say it is so that we can make changes, right? And well done, everybody. I am extremely proud. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on prefixes and suffixes, and we specifically focused on suffixes, words with full, words with less, words with able or able. And we said knowing the meaning of a suffix will determine so that you can know the meaning of what the word is, right? And the word of the suffix full means having, showing, or causing. The word or the meaning of the word less means without. And the meaning of the words able or able is to have the ability to, right? So, guys, thank you very much for joining our class. Thank you very much for being interactive. I really do hope that you guys understand the suffixes and the meanings thereof. I feel like I learned from you guys today. So I do hope that you are going to have an amazing weekend further. Goodbye.